Hey, it's S.T.E.M Research. We're back with another episode. S.T.E.M Research with Mike and MFN Love. A deep dive into the DNA of classic tracks. We dissect the song's master multitrack stems, track by track, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I promise you, I'm going to have that in front of me for the rest of the time we do the show, and I'm going to say that until I remember it, which will be December, because I don't remember stuff. And that comes from my days in radio. You know, I handicapped myself for 30 years in radio by always having notes in front of me, because guess what? Radio in the olden days was like, you didn't see the person. You didn't see him. Not until, you know, we started having webcams in like 97, 98. Before that, radio was theater of the mind. You didn't see the guy or gal behind the mic until you went out in public and it was like, oh my God, you're so much shorter than I expected. Or you look nothing like I expected you to look. Or God, he's ugly. She's ugly, but I won't say it to her face. Hi, nice to meet you. I love your show. Back to myself, back to me, and me, myself, and I always had notes. That's why to this day I have notes, man. The difference is you can see me. I always had notes in front of me, and those notes were the things that kept me on point. So it's still me to this day, and my little blurb that I write out about S.T.E.M Research to explain what the show is, I needed to have that in front of me. And I never memorized anything. Some people just have really good memories and, you know, all right, I got it. You know, they could be actors. I tell people I could never, like, I've been invited to act. Like, come be in a movie. I'm like, bro, I can't remember shit. I couldn't remember the lines to be in your movie. Like, if you gave me, like, a bit part where I just came in and said, like, a catchphrase or something, I'm there. You know, give me the one funny line. Bad Boys, the original, the original movie Bad Boys from 1995. I'm one of the few people that love the line when the gunman busts into the apartment or the house and kill the guy who's been stealing the dope from underneath the big guy, and they killed, you know, the girl that's the lady of the night that was Will Smith's girlfriend, right? There's one line where one of the gunmen says, I hate when a bitch lets herself go. I hate it when a bitch lets herself go. Oh my God. That's not only one of my favorite lines in a movie, it's just so random. And that's the kind of acting I could do. You know what I'm saying? Give me one line, one memorable line, and I'm out of there. All right. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Love. You've done all you need to do. Your SAG-AFTRA check will be in the mail. All right. So S.T.E.M Research is here, and it's Philadelphia week. And I initially said that today's multi-track stems that we would be breaking down would be the 3 degrees. When will I see you again? But we did that already. We did it on February 2nd, 2022, just to show you how I'm tweaking. I'm always tweaking. And I said to myself, I keep saying to myself, I did that song already. I did that, but I never remember doing it. I did make on Instagram, the day of every episode, I kind of make this little flyer that shows you the songs that we're doing, and I post it to my Facebook page, and I post it to my Instagram and Twitter sometimes. But I never made one for the day that I did You Know How to Make Me Feel. So when I would search for it, it wasn't there. But guess where it was? YouTube. Yep, February 2nd, 2022. I did You Know How to Make Me Feel, which went number 2, and Kung Fu Fighting, which went number 1. Your boy is always trying to tie things in. It might not be the freshest show in the world. Maybe Kung Fu Fighting was not your favorite episode. But what's the song that kept You Know How to Make, not You Know How to Make Me. I'm tripping. Again, I'm tweaking because of the group that we're doing tonight. That's a little secret. When Will I See You Again? When Will I See You Again is the song that was going to be done today. I announced it at the end of Monday's show, which was taped last week. Actually, I'm taping it now. And it's now, but by the time it plays, it'll be next week. So I said last week. So, When Will I See You Again by the 3 Degrees? I'm saying to myself, I did that, but I don't remember. So I go to YouTube, find it with Kung Fu Fighting. So When Will I See You Again went number 2 on the pop chart. It was kept from going number 1 by Kung Fu Fighting. So that episode, if you'd like to watch it, it's on my YouTube channel. And of course, as always, very instructional. You'll learn something. You'll learn something about the songs. I try to have some tidbit of this about the songs that you might or might not know. Either some history. This is a history lesson. The show is a history lesson, and it's Music 103, right? It's my personal experiences with the music and the songs. I share so many stories about growing up, the black experience, as I like to call it. You know, growing up black with black music in your life, and the journey of going, not only having your own personal record collection because your parents, let you buy 45s, but your parents had their collection. Your mom had her favorites. Those are her records over there. Your dad had his favorites. Then your aunts, uncles, and cousins all had their their music collections. And I share those stories, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone really get into depth about that type of thing. I remember the first time somebody interviewed me about Nigerian Gangster, the Fela Jay-Z mixtape that I did in 2008. I really stressed the fact that my uncles and aunts and cousins were some of the biggest musical influences of my life. And you don't hear people say that. I mean, you do when you have conversations with people. But when you ask people, like, who are your influences? They're like James Brown and Prince and Michael Jackson and D'Angelo or whatever they say, But they never say their own fucking family. Sometimes they do if their parents sang, were in a musical group, or played an instrument. Then they're like that. But you do hear people say, my dad played records. Yeah, you do hear that. White and black. We had music around the house. So, there I go. Disproving myself in the same, in less than 5 minutes. Yeah, people do say that. People do, but do they talk about their cousins and their aunts? Nope. They talk about their parents in their own house. So, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes has taken the spot tonight. They will take the spotlight, and we will be doing Don't Leave Me This Way. And hey, this will be the second time we're doing Don't Leave Me This Way, because we did Thelma Houston's version back before I got the multi-track master stems of the Harold Melvin and the Blue Note version, which is the definitive house music version. Forget about it. The Thelma Houston, shout out to Thelma Houston. She made a whole damn career off of Don't Leave Me This Way, and it turned into this HIV/AIDS anthem song, and she's performed it for years and has such a really big gay following because of the song, because the song was big with gay people, right? But in 1975, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes put out their final album with Mr. Theodore Pendergrass, Wake Up Everybody. And that album included boy, they did some long songs. For them to come out with 36-minute albums, they will have 2 or 3 6 or 7 minute songs on them albums, but they'll balance that shit out with a 3-minute song too. The original 6-minute version of Don't Leave Me This Way is on the 1975 release. And as I said, that release is Wake Up Everybody. Scary looking album cover with looks like a black monolith in the middle of some grass. It was scary. Well, I'm telling you, man. When I tell you that this show is about me sharing my thoughts of the music of the time, I'm like, that's a scary album cover. Let's keep going. But no, Wake Up Everybody with at least 2 house music classics on that album and a great duet. Wake Up Everybody, which of course is the first single that would be the big hit. Tell the World How I Feel About You, Baby. Oh my God. I guess, and this is a guess, I'm guessing Ron Hardy did an edit or something. They still play edit in Chicago of this song. Every time I hear it, I would Shazam it. Like, what is this damn song? Because it's an edit. It doesn't even play the song. It's like the beginning and the end and some other parts. It's easily one of the big Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes records in Chicago, man. It's underground. It's not a song that you will hear like Bad Luck. You know, Bad Luck is like mainstream old school house. But that record, man, Tell the World How I Feel About You, Baby. That's deep house. All right. That's a term we use on this show a lot. Sharon Page and Harold and Teddy Pendergrass, You Know How to Make Me Feel So Good, is also on that album. That's a great duet and a great song. And that multitrack master is coming soon. We will break that song down on STEM Research very soon. But so as I said, the 3 Degrees are out. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring Theodore Pendergrass is in for tonight. And again, the definitive version of the song. Listening to the album version, it's pretty much the same as the extended version that came out in 1977, except they faded it. And there wasn't really much that Tom Moulton had to do. When we talk about Tom Moulton's adding to the game, and we touched on this on Monday's show. Let's go. Where are we going? We hit the wrong button. Joyous! Wrong button, Mike Love. Wrong button, bro. Okay. What is it? What is this? That's not Logic Pro. Oh, God. It's not a window, bro. Okay. So this is what I need to do. I'll do that, and then I'll go back here. Mr. Preparation, always prepared. Hey, you gotta love this show. Oh, I didn't title it? What? I didn't title it? That's crazy. Okay. I didn't title it. So let me title it. Let's do that right now. Save as. You're getting the real deal here today, man. Stems. Don't leave me this way. And we'll go Teddy. All right, because we don't want to confuse this version with the other version that we already have done on STEM Research. And when I go to save it, it'll say, no, you already saved Don't Leave Me This Way. This is a different version. All right, so there we go. So, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Don't Leave Me This Way. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the version on Philadelphia Classics, right? I touched on this album This is a record that was in all the DJs crates. Is like mandatory deep house and extended versions of songs. The extended versions. So the long version that didn't fade is like 7 minutes and 7 seconds, or maybe it's 8 minutes. Let's go to the Wikipedia. 7:07. Yeah, so there's just a minute of the song that, like, the song was faded out by, they needed room on the album. They still got 40 minutes of music, and you got a 6-minute song, so they faded it out. And they faded it out at a pretty decent part right before all of the Baby Pleases started. But the 7-minute version lets everything play. All the Baby Please, Baby Please. So we'll get to hear all of that today when we break down the song. And it's Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy joined the group. Actually, he became the lead singer before they signed to Philadelphia International Records. As legend would have it, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes were originally the Blue Notes. They broke up. Harold Melvin kept the name of the band for himself and rebranded them Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And back in those days, it wasn't like, the legalities of something like that, like ownership, who owns the name. The other guys couldn't stand each other, and they didn't care that he was rebranding the group as Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes anyway, because they weren't part of the Blue Notes anymore, so they could give less of a shit what he was doing. So, of course, everybody knows, or most people know, that Teddy Pendergrass was the drummer of the group. In 1970, these guys have been performing on the Chitlin circuit, doing work as a live band, performing in tuxedos, doing show tunes, the whole shebangy bang. Nothing's working for them as far as having a top 40 hit, but they are big, as I said, in the Chitlin scene and the club scene. And that's where they eat. That's where they make their money. And in 1970, they're performing in Puerto Rico, and your man, Harold Melvin, is asked to do an encore. Like, hey, extend your set. We're in Puerto Rico. The Puerto Ricans are loving you. Can you keep it going for a little while longer? And Harold Melvin's like, something, man, my voice is pretty tired. I'm no real singer. So let's let some of the Blue Notes step up to the mic. And he remembers that's the point where he heard Teddy's big baritone voice, his baritone, and he was like, we got something here. And from that point on, Harold Melvin, of course, still kept it, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, but Teddy Pendergrass was now the lead singer. An interesting note is that if you really know music and you know bands from Chicago or groups from Chicago, the Dells are born and raised in Harvey, Illinois, which is about 20 minutes outside of Chicago, or 5 or 10 minutes, depending on what part of Chicago you're in, because Chicago's pretty fucking big. If you're in the city, though, as I like to say, you're in the city, which is like the heart of Chicago. If you're at, like, I don't know, 124th in Michigan, which is still Chicago, you're not that far from Harvey. That said, on with the story. The Dells, Melvin Jr., or Marvin Jr., I'm sorry, because I confused Harold Melvin. All right. So, Marvin Jr. has a voice. Marvin Jr. of the Dells sounds exactly like Teddy Pendergrass, or should I say Teddy Pendergrass sounds exactly like Marvin Jr. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that, so Gamble of Gamble and Huff, Kenny Gamble wanted to sign the Dells to Philadelphia International Records back when they're first jumping on the scene, before they blew. He's out there trying to sign groups, bring people in, and he brought the Dells in from Chicago, who were signed to Cadet Records one of the great all-time labels in the city of Chicago. Please believe, Cadet Records. They were signed to that label, but he wanted them to jump ship and come over to Philly International. He could not make that happen because the Dells, true to Chicago, wanted to keep it shy. You know, most Chicagoans are like that, very territorial, very true to the roots of the city, and want to make it pop from the shy, even back then. So the Dells are like, nah, we'll pass on signing with Philly International and moving to Philadelphia and recording here, all of that. But obviously they did not know what Philly International would become. They just were like, no, we're happy doing what we do. So from that point on, Kenny Gamble decides he's going to find his own version of the Dells, and that's what Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes is, but without all of the really, really great singing. Like the Marvin Jr., Teddy Pendergrass thing, yeah, very close, but nobody's getting all the rest of because the Dells sang their own songs. That is not the case with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes to a certain degree. On I Miss You, that's them singing. That's them singing the falsetto part. That's Harold Melvin talking shit. And that's Teddy Pendergrass doing his thing as well. But he got what he was looking for up to a certain point. But again, he didn't get the full thing. But, you know, obviously Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, for that short period that Teddy Pendergrass was recording with them from 1972 to 1975, they were at the top of the food chain, which is crazy, bro. 3 years is no time. It's no time, but it's so long at the same, like when you're on the top, boy. The Temptations said it, man, standing on the top. Everything they said in that song is the truth. It's like you're on the top and it feels like it's going to last forever. And, you know, just again, from 1972 to 1975 was when Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and Teddy Pendergrass were doing their thing. And they had so many hits, and they just went out. They were they started out, as I said, as a Chitlin Circuit group, a group that went out and recorded music, performed. So even though it wasn't the Blue Notes singing most of the backgrounds in the studio, that was left up to, you know, the Sigma Studios magical team, Kenny Gamble, Phil Hurt, and Tom Bell were basically singing. So on this song, when we break it down and when we go into the track and when we listen to the background vocals, the male backgrounds, it's those guys, and probably maybe a mixture of Teddy Pendergrass, not sure, but definitely not the Blue Notes singing on that, but they sang it live in concert, and they made all the money on the road. So you got to love that. So, you know, again, the song was not released as a single when it dropped on the album, but obviously when Thelma Houston made it a hit 2 years later the next year in 1976, because her album came out in 1976. The song was originally intended for Diana Ross as a follow-up to Love Hangover. Boy, Diana Ross would have been killing the game if she would have came with Love Hangover and then Don't Leave Me This Way. Forget about it. But, you know, I always like to say in some alternate universe she did and killed it. However, in this universe, Thelma Houston had that song on her album. The DJs in Boston were the first ones to jump on board with the record. They started getting positive feedback from the discos. The DJ breaking records, because that's what DJs did. they started getting positive feedback, and the record spread from there. It never was really a true extended version of the song. It was just the album version, and that version of the song was the definitive one, and it got played, and again, that was the definitive pop music version. It went to number one on the black chart, and it went to number one on the pop chart. We cannot say that about the Harold Melvin and the Blue Note version, but that's the version that's number one in our hearts. And shout out to DJ Emmanuel, who is responsible for this multi-track stem, getting this one into my hands, loaning it to me, and allowing me to present it. What a guy. What a fucking guy. Thanks, bro. Appreciate the love. Send him a shout out. DJ Emmanuel, definitely one of the STEM daddies of the Midwest, connected. So, let's dive in. Let's go to Logic Pro and me. All right. So we still have Philadelphia Classics on the screen. I can't stress enough. I can't stress enough how important. Let me see if I can find the track listing for that. Did I pull it up? Philadelphia Classics. Oh, there it is. Philadelphia Classics. Okay, yeah. So it was like long versions of songs that we just never had long versions. Love Is the Message was now 11 and a half minutes long. TSOP, which is the Soul Train theme song, was on there. Dirty Old Man, which I never cared about, but okay, go with it. That's the 3 Degrees again. I Love Music by the OJs and Love Train. The long versions of, let's just say this, Don't Leave Me This Way, the Don't Leave Me This Way on here is 11 minutes long. That's right, the breakdowns were super, super long. Yeah, okay. Tom Moulton did do work. Forgive me. Mistake on my part. I'm sure someone maybe in the comments already said that. So, yeah, the 11-minute version. So there's 5 minutes of song left on the table that, you never heard until Tom Moulton did his remix. I don't know where that 7-minute version came from, but this 11-minute version on this album was the definitive version. The long version of Love Train, the long version of I Always Love My Mama, and the long version of Bad Luck. Man, Philadelphia Classics. Mixed by Tom Moulton. And it's like I said, that's just definitive deep house and disco and the music that DJs were playing at the time. Like everybody has a copy of this, or had a copy of, like you just had to have it. You know what I'm saying? If you were playing records of that sort, you had to have that. So, all right, so let's dive into the song, man. Let's get into it. Let's leave no stone unturned. We will dive into the instrumental of the song first. I've labeled all of the instruments. We've got drums, we've got bass, conga and percussion, Rhodes, the Rhodes, the beautiful Rhodes. Guitar 1 and 2, strings, trumpets, horns, trombones, etc. MFSB has handled the music, the usual gang of idiots, as I like to say. You should know them if you're a fan of this show. If you watched the show, we've deep dived Philly International, because the multi-tracks are available and DJs can't do enough to get their hands on them. So it's cool to have this one, though. I was like, bro, Don't Leave Me This Way. The Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes version? Shit. I feel like I'm John Morales in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. This is big boy stuff. This is a big boy stem. This is a STEMmy stem. So, sit back, relax, chill out. Let's get into the music. It's Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, music by the Sigma Sweethearts. I'm going to give them another name, Y'all don't need to give him a name. MFSB, man. Mother, father, sister, brother. Motherfucking son of a bitch. On STEM research.
Don't leave me this way, take one. Two.
That didn't work. And that sounded great to me. What are they doing? Okay. Let's fire up the whole band, bro. What are y'all doing? You know, everybody was supposed to come in. Earl, what are you doing? Earl, are you asleep on the drums, bro? Let's go. Let's play that whole thing over again, man. Earl Young was sleeping at the wheel. And it was take one. We could have got this in one take, but no. Thanks, Earl. Let's try it again. Let's take it from the top.
Don't leave me this way, take one. Two.
That's more like it. Very mixable intro right here, man. That's very mixable, bro. Just a kick. Still the intro. Come on, strings. That's clean, brother. That's clean. It's funny because when we presented the Thelma Houston version on STEM Research, there's a very Philadelphia because they originally did the song, but there's some parts that sound very Philly. They stay very true to it, but here's the original, man, so let's get into it. Ronnie Baker on that bass. Killer. That's classic. That's the classic bass line. And I think that's one of the other things that separates this version is the horns. The horns are different. You know, they play a different. They go in a different direction than the Thelma Houston. Are there even horns on that one? I don't know. I gotta pull it out. Beautiful, beautiful music. Down with all those strings and horns. No vibes on this. Roads could be played by Leon Huff or Lenny Pakula. Drums, of course, the legend Earl Young. This is it. Ah, that's the part. Like, for no reason. I think I repeat that in, like, I did an edit of this like that. This just takes me back to the warehouse. Like, they did so many edits of this song, man. Oh my god. They extended this part right here, boy. The whole song might have just been this part to the end. I can't really remember. I'll have to ask DJ Emmanuel about that. What parts of this song did you guys use? So it's bass in the roads right now. Everybody else is taking a break. Ronnie Baker, fucking killing. Guitarist coming back in. So I was like, hey, what do you guys think? Like, that sound like a money take. Damn right, baby. Not 9 takes. It was 9 takes. The 9th take, man. Larry Washington he was toast on that. Larry Washington had fresh hands on this one, man. The conga player, the congas. All right, so let's dive into, let's start breaking down the instrument game. All right, that's what we do. That's what we do on STEM Research. We got the tracks. We got the tracks. We can do that. Let's start out with the incredible drumming, master drumming of Mr. Earl Young. Crazy thing is, it sounds like him on the count in, but I don't know. Like, who is that? Is that Earl's voice? Is that Norman Harris? You know, whoever arranged it. Like, you know, who is that? Just giving you the foot of life for like the first 16 bars. Like, those drums don't even kick in. He's like, oh, when I start playing it, I'm gonna be killing it. That's an Earl Young. That's definitely Earl Young's signature. Super fast. Definitely hearing those Earl Young signatures over the year that we've been doing this show almost. Because we played a lot of Earl Young. Earl's at the top of the food chain on STEM research, baby. I'm gonna get this bar stool before this chair falls apart. It's gonna fall apart live on the show. Love hit the floor. Here we go. We are now into it. We have a signature Earl Young. And yes, this is him playing because even though they left in 1975, this is one of the last albums that they did, and it's obviously his style. And Charles Collins would never come behind Earl Young and play like him. He would play completely differently. So the last days of, before they left. And according to Earl Young, they would still play on, even though in the book House on Fire, like the Philadelphia story, House on Fire, it more or less alludes to the fact that once they were gone, and they never, even though the book doesn't say this, it kind of alludes to the fact that they didn't play on anything else after they left, when Earl Young on his Facebook page is like, oh yeah, I played on. Such an old man, I love it. He's like, yo, 1976. I played on You'll Never Find. I didn't get credit. Like, is that right? Okay, Earl Young. School the masses. We're supposed to stem it out. Alright, so let's stem it out. Alright. And why is bass up here? Why is bass not with guitars? Alright, let's get it together here. There we go. Alright, it's STEM research now. Alright, so we added something new to the STEM research repertoire, which is playing the instruments in stems as opposed to playing them individually. It takes a lot of time, and it's like 8 minutes. On congas and percussion, the legendary Larry Washington. He's fresh on this one. He and Earl are definitely in tune on this. Pendergrass was 20 years old when he took over as the lead singer of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. 20. He was the drummer. He had been drumming for quite some time. Played in a James Brown review. Did a whole bunch of other things. Was a master drummer. Also, he sounded like Marvin Jr. from the Dells when you put him in front of a microphone. You gotta love that. And again, Philadelphia International, the label, purposely signed, like, Teddy Pendergrass was the reason they got the record deal, because Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes were a group in Philadelphia that Gamble knew about. He wasn't very interested in signing them until he heard Teddy Pendergrass is the lead, because then it was like all of the dots were connected. It was like, damn. This is a dope breakdown. As you can hear percussion in the congas. Take the drums out. Larry Washington with fresh hands on this. The hands were not fresh Monday after the ninth take on Love Train. He was out of there. His hands were burning red, like, bro, I can't take this. Nice. All right, let's bring her all back in. Sweet. Good shit. Good shit. Everybody there, they were definitely in tune there. All right, bass, guitars. Let's stem them up. Let's give you a real good show, man. This is one of the best parts of the song, especially the bass, which of course was solo by itself. Might be TJ Tyndall on guitar. He says he plays a lot of rhythm on Teddy songs. Let's make sure that's in the middle of the screen so you can see it. Beautiful music. Let's take the bass out, see how these guys work together. See, that's two different guitars. As I always say, like the call and response. research. This is what we do. Welcome to class. Shout out to the stimulators. Oh my God. This new version of the show. I'm not shouting out my people enough. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. Twitch fam, what up? Stimulators, mount up. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you for being here. Shout out to y'all, man. First and foremost, shout out to the Twitch fam. And now the Twitch fam just watches on the different platforms. Like, I like YouTube. The Twitch fam will be on YouTube or Facebook. Because you can watch it live on Facebook. You can't rewatch it. Shout out to Gary T. Shout out to Capricorn's Cave 1980, aka my man El Genius. Shout out to the day ones that are still with us. Mr. Majors, what up? Shout out to the second generationers that are still with us as well, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mr. Hypnotic, who is always checking in on the Facebook. Let me open up. Let me just open up. Let me open up. Look at, see some of the people in the comments, all right? Let me shout them out. Cicero. Shout out. Salute to you, sir. AKA my man Paul from George's Music Room back in the day. He's always a DJ and a damn good one. Lydell Redmond, AKA Mr. Hypnotic. Much love to you, bro. Always good seeing you in the comments. Corey Rogers, what up? So what up? These are people that have been passed. Lee Williams, aka Mr. Majors, much love, bro. One of the OGs, of course. So we're not gonna have to just mute the guitars because the bass is just gonna play through that whole breakdown. Just the interplay between the guitars is incredible. Like one guitar. I promise you, this is one of Ronnie Baker's baddest bass lines. Absolutely. Just because of how and where I heard it, you know? Jesus, man, this record banging in the warehouse on that sound system. Still the best sound system I've ever heard in my lifetime. But you know, I'm not an OG where I've been around the world and heard all these incredible sound systems, you know. I just heard the warehouse on Halston and Randolph, man, where disco records sounded like rap. It was like, bro, that's where I learned that live instruments sound just as good on a real system as electronic music, if not better. That was a nice little flip that Ron Baker did right at the end of that bar. Kind of signaled the guys to come back in. So again, shout out to everybody that supports the show. If I mention your name, an exclusive shout out to you. So shout out to Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's like, I'm tired of that. These guys were so disciplined to just play a groove for 8 minutes, man. It's, nowadays we just take it's like a player would play that part live, but they would not play it for 8 minutes because, like, you're going to have some, speeding up and slowing down. So an engineer would just take that part and just extend it, like, okay. It's live bass, but, we're not going to have you stand there and play for 8 minutes. Although I have seen drummers drum on new records. All right, so that was the bass and guitar stem, or guitar stem as I like to call it. What do we got next? Let's go with... what do we have? Strings and horns left, and keys. All right, so there's no organ on this. It's just the Rhodes. So I look at my phone as if I'm reading comments even though this is taped. So sorry. As I've mentioned in other shows, I just don't have the time. But I want to do the show because I love doing the show and I love presenting. And I ran into a young lady in the streets. Shout out to Nicole. She says that she's a... What did she say? She says that she didn't call it STEM research. She called it, what is STEM? Jesus Christ. I'm the worst, bro. I'm the worst at stories unless it's involving my cousins and records. Oh, she said she's a fan of stem cell. She called the show Stem Cell Research. Not the name, but I knew she knew what she meant, and I knew what she meant. She's like, my husband and I are fans. Keep doing the music. She saw me out in these streets working. And she was like, keep doing your thing with the music. We love it. I watched Stem Cell. I was like, STEM Research. I love it. So Nicole, thank you. Shout out to you and your husband. And Pullman, West Pullman. Shout out to the Pullman fam. should have saved the roads for the vocals. Y'all know how I am with roads and vocals, especially Philadelphia International. This show is where I get a lot of my remix ideas from. Especially what I was doing Monday with Love's Train. I was like, or Love Train. Smack myself. Love's Train. Love's Train is one of my favorite slow songs from high school. So sometimes I call Love Train Love's Train because couldn't function, man. Bro, that was my shit senior year. They sound so good together. I had to do it. That's Huff. That's definitely Huff. Leon Huff, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't jiving, he's jamming. That had to be interesting though, like, you know, the co-founder of the label, like, you know, the head. This is like a member of the band as well, like. And according to, you know, books that have been written about him, like, he's a very low-key, didn't talk a lot, didn't say a lot. You know, just kind of like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, how Jimmy Jam is always the main guy in any interview. I'm like, does Terry Lewis have anything to say? Is Jimmy Jam keeping him from speaking? It was the same thing with Gamble and Huff. It's like Kenny Gamble is the head, the voice. And occasionally, Leon Huff would have something to say. Occasionally. No. And then the break. I'm going to just let it play through the break. Not going to move the cursor up or anything. Super random for that, but it's such a great moment in the song. Interesting how the song was sung by a man and a woman, and it's the same song, like "Don't Leave Me." Like, you know, Teddy gave an impassioned plea for his woman not to leave him, and so did Thelma Houston. Were guys really leaving women? You know, leave you with the kids, but, you know, don't leave me this way. I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't leave me this way. I got a kid on the way. on, Huff. Nice. Get jazzy with it. That's bad. That's bad, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, the Huff of Gambling Huff. That's a bad man. He just was doing his own thing at the end. Love it. Love it. That's why STEM research is necessary. It's necessary. Give us our flowers now. Go to God, what is it? Cash App. Go to my Cash App. Drop some money. Just because you're hearing greatness and you're hearing these songs in ways you've never heard them before. You know? Or just drop some bits. Drop some bits on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Give me some bits, bro. I never ask for anything. I'm just giving y'all this for free. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not asking for donations. I'm just saying, like, man, if you love this, man, hit the Cash App. And if you don't, damn you. All right. Let's go with bones, trumpets, horns. All right. And then we'll do strings last. As I said, the horn section of the song is kind of what makes it different. This version is different. And they stop. But they'll be back. Nice. All right, let's move the cursor up a little bit to the second horn section because they don't play again until. And then the horns take a really, really long break. So we're going to move the cursor up to the very end, which is them coming back and just killing the little end part. All right, maybe if I hit play. There we go. Taking it up in a different octave. And that's it. That's it for the horns. Now all we got is the strings. And then we'll get to the vocals. Teddy Pendergrass. Can't wait. All right, let's go with strings. Don Ronaldo and his strings and horns. I should have did the strings and horns together. Bro, what were you thinking? It's Don Ronaldo. Forgive me, it's cold and flu season. I'm sorry, actually, it's allergy season. Which is why sometimes my voice sounds like it sounds. It's allergy season. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. They nailed that shit. Good job, strings. Good job. This song is a really good example of what Tina Turner says in the beginning of Proud Mary. How it starts out nice and then it gets rough. You know, like it is very much that type of a record. Nice. As you can see on this show, STEM Research, we have the ability, we have the multitrack master stems, multitracks. And we have the ability to go in and just play individual instruments. The DNA of the songs, breaking down the songs like they've never been broken down before. You're hearing the song, you've heard it a million times. If you're like me, so it's really cool to hear the song like this, acoustically. I've told y'all a million times. All of the elements come together to make great records and great songs. But what do those elements sound like by themselves? Are they still great? Yes. Screaming for some bongos. love it. I'm just in awe, man. Because this is an all-time favorite. So I'm just chilling, bro. This is an album cut. Like they went in at Sigma Studio, you know. They cut that. All right. Let's go to the final string section. The big finish. Let's go to the big finish. Might have flew that part. The record is moving now. The record is really moving. And so are the strings. Yeah, that was fast. They really pick up the tempo, bro. Like those disco records, man. God bless my DJs that were playing those records back in the day on the turntables that they were playing them on. Like those tempo changes, like you had to know your record. You're like, oh my God, you had to know your records. That's what the DJs always said. You had to know your records. You had to know when there was like some records, you know, you're gonna hit that pitch. You're trying to ride them, blend them, and all that other fun stuff. All right, here we go. So you see him labeled Teddy. Background vocals female and background vocals male. So it is Don't Leave Me This Way. The original version, we get to hear all of the Teddy Pendergrass ad-libs and his everything that made this song great. The original, before Thelma Houston took it to the top of the charts, it was just an album cut. And once it was re-released in 1977 on the Philadelphia Classics album, it went to top 5. This version actually did better in the UK than the Thelma Houston version. Thelma Houston version only went top 20. This version went top 5. So I guess in the UK they know soul when they hear it, right? So let's dive in. Vocals. Big Ted, Theodore Pendergrass, you know, all of 25 years old at this point. He's warming up. Take your time, Teddy. Take your time.
Don't leave me this way. I can't survive, can't stay alive without your love. Don't leave me this way. No, I can't exist. I'll surely miss your tender kiss. Don't leave me this way. No, don't leave me this way. Yeah. A broken man with empty hands. Oh, baby, please, please, don't leave me this way.
Ah, baby!
My heart is full of love and
Desire for you!
Now come on, girl, and do what you
Gotta do!
You started this fire down
In my soul!
Now can't you see it's burning
Out of control!
Now come on, girl, and satisfy the
Needing me!
'Cause only your good loving can set me free. free.
All right, let's take it back. All right, let's take Ted out. Let's do the Sigma Sweethearts first. Let's just give the background vocals of the ladies some love and see what they did and what they brought to this track.
Ah, baby. Design for you.
Oh, they put the D. It's shocking.
Gotta do
I always thought it was like desire for you.
in my soul. Out of control. Needing me.
Nice, nice. Good job. Good job. They killed it. That's the fucking Sigma Sweethearts. Like, bro, what do you expect? All right, the male perspective of that, kind of fattening it up.
Ah, baby. Sorry for you. Gotta do in my soul. Out of control. Needing me.
Needing me. I always say believe in me. Because just like everybody else, I make up words.
A broken man with empty hands.
Teddy by himself.
Baby, please, please, don't leave me this way. Ah, baby, my heart is full of love and desire for you.
That's hot so far.
Now come on, girl, and do what you gotta do.
Oh, that's heat. That's heat.
You started this fire down in my soul.
Come on, Ted.
Now can't you see it's burning out of control? Now come on, girl, and satisfy the need in me. 'Cause only your good loving can set me free. Free, free. Don't leave me this way.
Take your time, Teddy.
'Cause it would be wrong to string along a love so true. Don't leave me this way. Don't you understand? I'm at your command. Oh, baby, please, please, don't leave me this way. Hey, don't leave me this way. Wait, I can't survive, can't stay alive without your love. Don't leave me this way.
Ah, baby.
My heart is full of love and
Desire for you.
Now come on, girl, and do what you
Gotta do
You started this fire down
in my soul.
Now can't you see it's burning
Out of control.
Now come on, girl, and satisfy the need
Needing me.
'Cause only your good loving can set me free.
Satisfy the need in me.
Free, free.
Ah.
Don't leave me this way.
I finally know what they say on this song. Satisfy the need
'Cause
in
it
me.
would be wrong
Got it.
to string along a love so true. Don't leave me this way.
Ah, baby.
My heart is full of love and
Desire
desire
for you.
Now come on, girl, and do what you
Gotta do
You started this fire down
in my soul.
Now can't you see it's burning
Out of control.
Now come on, girl, and satisfy the need
Needing me.
'Cause only your good loving set me free. I need it. Right now, say I need it. I need your loving, baby. See,
Please,
your love.
please, please
Your
don't
love.
go.
Well,
Please, please
your
don't
love
go.
is so important.
Please, please don't go.
Important to me.
Please, please don't go.
Oh, baby.
Please,
baby.
please don't go.
Hey, baby.
Take your time.
Please, please
See,
don't
I
go.
love you. I need
Please,
you.
please don't
I
go.
love you. Don't leave
Please,
me.
please don't go.
Not now.
Please,
This, baby.
please don't go.
No.
Please, please don't go.
Say I need
Please,
say
please don't go.
I need you.
Please, please don't go. Please, please don't go.
Oh, Lord.
Please, please don't go.
Not now.
Please, please don't go.
No. No.
Please, please don't go.
No.
Please, please don't go.
All right. Let's back it up. And it's time to take it to church. If you're a fan of STEM research, you've been around, you know where this is going. Let's get a little Leon Huff. Let's get a little Teddy Pendergrass, and let's let them preach together.
I need it. Right now, say I need it. I need your loving, baby. See, your love. Well,
No background.
your love is so important to me. Baby, hey, baby. You see, I love you. I need you. Got to have you. Don't leave me. Not now. Like this, baby. No. Said I need it. Say I need it. Say I need you. Oh, Lord. Not now, baby. No. Well.
Take your time.
Do.
So they took that out. Some of the little doo-doos that were not in the song. And some of the doo-doos.
Oh, no. Well.
That's it. That's there. All of this is gone.
Do.
Or maybe it's there. I just don't remember it.
See, well, I don't want you to go.
House hands, where you at?
See, I love you. You can't go. Will you stay with me? Stay with me.
N-word. That is Chicago. That's so Chicago. You can cut it, and the people sing along with that part. I know this record was made in Philadelphia. It probably blew up in Boston, New York. But come to Chicago and throw this on at a deep house party. It's a wrap. All right. So let's just get Teddy. Let's just get Teddy without the roads.
See, well, I don't want you to go. See, I love you. You can't go.
That's real, man.
Will you stay with me? Stay with me. Baby, please, yeah.
No echoes. Shocked.
Baby, please, yeah.
The echoes, baby.
Baby, please, yeah. Baby, please, yeah. Baby, please, yeah.
STEM research.
Baby, please, yeah. Come on, baby, please, baby, please. Oh, please, please. Oh, baby, my heart is full of love and desire for you. Now come on, girl, and do what you gotta do. You started this fire down in my soul. Now can't you see it's burning out of control? Now come on, girl, and satisfy the need in me. 'Cause only your good loving set me free. Hey, free! Come on, girl! You got that fire burning, burning, burning. Way down in my soul tonight, yeah. Lord, don't matter, right or wrong. Come on, well, satisfy me. And whatever.
Teddy will just go. Like, it's like 20 minutes in. He's still. Teddy Pendergrass is a fucking performer, bro. He just would go, man. And when these versions with the extended ad-libs became available to DJs, as I said, especially with Philadelphia Classics, like, it created a whole new world because we heard parts of these songs that we had never heard before, right? And they became standards. Frankie Knuckles and Ron Hardy and Larry Levan and all of the DJs that helped to make these records what they are, which is classics to this day. Man, you know, so being able to pull back all of the instruments and just hear all of that just by itself is special in its own right, man. And I'm so happy to have that opportunity. Shout out to DJ Emmanuel for putting those on loan for the show. Thanks, man. He's sitting on the couch. He's taking them right back with me. Like, delete it from your computer, bro. It is what it is, man. I'm glad I could present it in the way that it was presented tonight. Don't Leave Me This Way. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Number 3 on the Hot Disco chart, actually. It did do some chart action in 1975. Big Disco single went to number 3 in 1975, number 5 in the UK in 1977. Of course, written and produced by Gamble and Huff, who pretty much did work with I think they may have had a co-writer on this one. Let me look that up real quick. Corey Gilbert. Corey Grant Gilbert was one of the co-writers. He helped to co-write Me and Mrs. Jones and this song. So shout out to Gamble and Huff, who very rarely gave credit on songs that they were credited as the main writers. So that means that Corey Gilbert got checks for life. Man, can you imagine, like, all the times these songs were remade? If You Don't Know Me By Now was remade by Simply Red in the 1980s, and it became a hit again. And it's like, oh, we're getting checks for that. Like, checks are coming to the crib. These dudes, it's amazing. Like, when you stop and think about how the music lives forever. Why wouldn't Gamble and Huff at the 50-year mark? They don't own a single master. They don't own anything anymore. They sold the rights to Warner Chappell or Chappell Warner Chappell in the 1990s. They sold it off. But they are still the faces of the music. And guess what? They still get they still get checks, bro. Like, there's no, they didn't sell you know what I'm saying? They sold the label and the rights to the songs and the ability, but they didn't sell their publishing. Like, they didn't sell the rights for them to get paid off of performances and royalties for these songs forever. And that gets passed down generation to generation to generation because these songs have been sampled and replayed and remade and made bigger by other artists, man. So that is how you make money. People talk about making money in your sleep. Just write a few dozen hit songs. Like Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. Salute to them. Just music industry legends. All right. Friday we will bring back the best of, because I'm not going to do 3 stems a week. I ain't going to run out. I'm going to run out, I'm going to run out my second batch of good multi-track masters. Shout out to the music fans. Shout out to the people who love this type of thing. Shout out to you who tolerate my personality, and shout out to those of you that are like, this is refreshing to sit and watch some guy who I never heard of, who I don't know, just be so animatedly into the music. Man, the music is everything. That's why I can't give it up. So Nicole and Nicole's husband in Pullman, I'm not giving it up because my ego won't let me, right? This is my radio show. So thank you for being a part of it. While we're saying thank you, let's change it over to the thank you screen. 1, 2, 3. Out of my nutsack. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the studio producers who grabbed the multi-tracks from the masters. Thank you to the traders. Thank you to the sellers and the buyers and the people who help to keep this game alive, right? It's an underground transactional thing that I wanted to bring to the masses. So here it is. STEM Research, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, a deep dive into the DNA of classic tracks. We're dissecting a song's master multi-track stems track by track, unlike anything you've ever heard, with an enthusiasm unlike any you've ever heard as well, man. So we'll be back Friday with a best of episode, and then Monday and Wednesday of next week, which will it'll be May. It'll be May by the time, man. Damn. Hopefully it'll be warm outside. It's starting to warm up. Have yourself a good night. Class is dismissed.
Lord.